Hello, hello. Okay, I feel like I owe everybody an apology again because I am still sucking at doing these every week like I said I would, but here we are. So I have like nothing of substance to contribute today, so we're just gonna talk. It has been horrible here in Wisconsin for a couple days now. So we actually hit -30 this morning with the wind chill, but we are still going out for our 3 walks a day because I think it would be the end of the world if Moose didn't get taken for his walk. So we've been bundling him up with like his I think the official title is like a Carhartt work jacket or something like that for dogs. I don't know. We got it from Farm and Fleet though, so we put it on him. He absolutely hates it, but at the same time, like when it's this cold, we know a little bit better. So he doesn't feel like it's cold. We know it's cold and we know how bad that can be. So he's been bundling up in his little work jacket for a couple days now. It does look like by I think Friday there is an end in sight to these horrid negative temperatures. Like, I think Friday we're supposed to hit like 20 degrees, and then over the weekend in the 30s, and then early next week they're talking 40s, which I understand might be a complete fluke because we're still in February, but I cannot stress enough how badly I am looking forward to temperatures that are above the negatives. We did get a question in to Moon News, and somebody asked if I can do a like tattoo tour because there's been some like videos and photos where you can see my tattoos, and somebody just asked if I can do like a close-up of that. So okay, like if that's what the internet wants, who am I to fight them on that? So let's walk through them. So I have 3 tattoos, all on my arm. I was going to get a 4th one after we came home from Alaska over the summer, but as it turns out, I was on a prescription where you can't get tattoos, and then there's like a kind of 6-month waiting period after you're off the prescription. So I don't know. Actually, I think as of February would have been the 6 months. So I think I can get another one now, but it's just not in the budget at the moment. But this was my very first one. So this is Moose's paw prints. Obviously when he was a lot smaller and his little toe beans were a lot smaller. But yeah, it's just tie-dye of the outline. So I got that one in 2020. I had been furloughed from my job and brought back to do COVID testing. So I was literally like in the trenches outside for 8 or 9 hours a day, like literally swabbing people. And it took a hit on like my mental and emotional health. Like it was hard. And I have a lot of respect for people who do that kind of patient care day in and day out, because that's not my job. I'm a writer. Like that is my job. So to do things like that, it was hard and it was exhausting, and I kind of hit a period of very low like morale, and I was frustrated. And one of the girls I was working with goes, you know, when I'm upset, I go and get a tattoo. And I was like, I am not getting a tattoo. Like I don't have anything wrong with, like I don't have a problem with tattoos. I was just like, that's not me. Like I'm not gonna go get a tattoo. And then I kind of stewed on it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a tattoo. Like, yeah, that'll fix all my problems. And it did actually. Like, I was so obsessed with it. I mean, truly, I loved it so much, and it was like a little part of Moose that I could have on me. So yeah, it did actually like fix my attitude and boost my morale for a little bit. So 10 out of 10 recommend. The second one I got is this one right here. Oh, how can I best show this? So this one right here. It's moose antlers and then flowers down the middle. That one I think I got, I want to say, was it 2022? I think about 2 years after the first one. I just wanted something to kind of balance it out. Like, let's get tattoos on both arms. And obviously I'm obsessed with moose, but we also knew that we were planning on going to Alaska for our honeymoon. And one of the things that we always talked about doing was just like wanting to like see an actual moose or someday do like shed hunting for moose antlers. So I just thought that that was like super appropriate, and the flowers were just something to kind of add something a little bit different to it. So this one, I don't want to say I don't like love it, because I do, but the tattoo artist, he did a little bit more shading in like the antlers than what I wanted, which at the time kind of made it look a little bit more dimensional, but now that a couple of years have passed, it just, you know, it just kind of looks like solid black. So something to maybe get touched up in the future, but again, just not in the budget. So then my last one was this one. This was just a spur of the moment, treat yourself. Like I saw somebody else had it and I was like, hey, that's cute. But yeah, this is the moose. This is actually his ears, so literally sketched right off of a photo of him. So absolutely love it. It took like 10 minutes, so I didn't even get charged for the full, you know, like I think they charge a certain amount per hour. I think she charged me like just a fraction of that, which was so sweet. Anyways, those are the ones. But yeah, I was interested in maybe getting one from our time in Alaska. Like I was maybe looking at getting their state flower with some like animal tracks. So like we saw a grizzly bear, we saw a moose, we saw like caribou. So maybe getting like some animal kind of prints around the flowers. I don't know. But yeah, that's something definitely in the future to consider. So, but another question we got after a video I posted, I think we went 2 weeks ago, was what the heck is shed hunting? So we went shed hunting a couple weekends ago. That's something that's like a really big thing we do. We've done together as like a little family every single winter, and kind of into the spring, depending on what the weather is like. We do with moose. And essentially what we are doing is we are going into the woods and or fields sometimes too, if it's like public property. We are going and looking for deer antlers that they've dropped. So every year, usually over the winter, deer naturally lose their antlers and then they grow back each year, like bigger or wider. And it's just a fun thing. Like we don't sell them or anything like that. You've probably seen in our videos that we use them around the house for like decorations, or like moose chews on them too. They, you know, and I know this is a controversial thing because some people, you know, feel very strongly that they're not safe for dogs' teeth. Moose has been chewing on antlers since he was a puppy. They are very, deer antlers specifically, they are very, very, very tough bones. I honestly cannot say I remember a time where he has actually splintered one and a chunk has come off where we have to necessarily worry about like his teeth breaking or him swallowing a shard or things like that. He will sit and chew on them for hours. He like loves them. So anyways, when I say shed hunting, no, it's not like a garden shed or a tool shed or anything like that. Like, you know, we're looking for the antlers that deer have shed. And yeah, just something we can do. We usually go out for, you know, like a whole morning or a whole afternoon, or kind of make a day out of it, usually depending on how long I could last. Because like if the snow is really deep, even if we take snowshoes, I start to get a little annoyed. Like I'm over this, like I don't want to be here anymore. Or if the snow is super, super deep too, we know that like it's a little bit, moose doesn't care, but we know like we can start to see him getting tired more easily. So we kind of just base it off of how we're doing like energy wise. I am terrible personally at looking for sheds. I have never found an actual antler. I have found like parts of a deer, like I've found rib bones, I have found like legs, but no, I have never actually found a shed. Like, am I looking probably the best I can? No, honestly, no. But yeah, Brady has been doing this like for forever. He has found most of what we have. Moose has found some too, so that's really exciting. Yeah, when we went a couple weekends ago, we did find actually a dead buck that Brady had on camera this past fall. So that was kind of sad. We think the wolves or a coyote got it. and we found a doe skull too. So it's kind of we did actually bring the doe skull home. So it's kind of cool just to still find something, but yeah, it's kind of been an interesting winter because as of a couple weeks ago on Brady's cameras, like there were still some deer with their antlers. So, there's not necessarily a lot that had dropped them yet, so it's kind of hard to know exactly where to go. And when we went a couple weekends ago, there was next to no snow. So snow makes it a little bit easier because you can look for the deer trails, you can look for the deer beds, you can kind of look to see where they're eating and things like that by following their tracks. When there's no snow, that's a little bit harder to do, so we were kind of going in blind in some areas. And then now we've just been absolutely hammered with snow over the last couple weeks. So if deer had dropped them or have been dropping them, a little bit harder to find because they're likely buried in the snow right now. So kind of a tricky winter, but we'll probably still go out a few more times when it starts to warm up just because it's something to do. So, but yeah, let me know. I thought it would be cute just to get Brady on one of these just to kind of go a little bit more in depth about it, have him be like my first, I don't know, like guest appearance on this, but he's kind of more camera shy. He's not the chatty one, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's just a little bit more, just to kind of provide some more context. But as always, let me know if you have questions or things you want us to chat about. We are always like happy to share a little bit more about our lives. And if you haven't already, I'm making this pitch again because we are adding new stuff constantly, but Moose does have merch. So go take a look at the link tree in our bio. Code Moose10 does save you 10% off at checkout, but we did just drop like a whole new like camo, hunting, antlers, outdoorsy themed merch, which I want to buy so badly. But I have to not spend money for like a hot second here. So go check it out. We are so obsessed with how they've been turning out, and let us know if you grab anything. So thank you. And I don't know when I'm going to be back with the next one, but I will plan to keep doing these. So we will be back eventually. Bye everyone. Stay warm.